Welcome back to Newswatch 12 this morning, and we are seeing some very gusty winds this morning, potentially damaging wind gusts. In fact, they could gust they are gusting between 30 to 50 miles per hour right now, especially for our valleys as the winds are coming up out of the south and they are getting ushered into those north-south oriented valleys like the Shasta Valley and the Rogue Valley. So through this evening, we could end up having winds gusting between 60 to 70 miles per hour. So if you have any loose outdoor objects that you're responsible for, be sure that you're bringing those inside or that you're tying them down at the very least. So we're going to contend with wind gusts today. We're also going to contend with some very heavy snowfall, specifically for this little bullseye here in south central Siskiyou County. We could have upwards to maybe 2 to 3 feet, not inches, feet of snow in this little section of Siskiyou County. So it is going to be a very dangerous go of it on some of these passes, including Snowman Summit on California 89, Black Butte Pass on Interstate 5, and I'm sure California 3 is not looking too hot right about now. And then maybe just expecting 3 to 4 inches of snow on Oregon 140, maybe upwards of a foot for some of our passes in the Cascades, and then for the west side passes, anywhere between 3 to 4 inches of snow. So kind of ticky-tack snowfall amounts elsewhere except for the Cascades and south central Siskiyou County. This is the culprit, which is bringing a lot of heavy snowfall to the region this morning, mainly in elevations above 3,000 and 3,500 feet. So we'll put this into motion with Stormcast, and eventually this main band of moisture does get a little kick off towards the east. So after lunchtime, or just actually right around lunchtime, it'll be along and east of the Cascades. Then later this afternoon, this will be a problem for Modoc and Washoe and Harney counties, but then we're going to watch band number 2 right here starting to make its way inland, and this will bring some heavy rainfall, heavy snowfall, and this will continue to provide a lot of heavy snowfall to the same area that's already gotten pounded with snowfall, and that would be the Mount Shasta City area. So that's what we have to deal with for today, but we still have to go through tomorrow. So we'll pick this up right around breakfast time. Still more snow coming into south central Siskiyou County. And then a little bit later in the day, this storm system, the core of the storm system, starts to flare up at the peak of daytime heating, so maybe we could have some more pop-up rain and snow showers, although coverage is going to be substantially less compared to what we're seeing for today. And then I think most of us finally will dry and we can all take a collective sigh of relief into Thursday and Friday. But then more storm systems that we'll have to deal with over the weekend. Here are some of these water projections through Wednesday night, and it's very clear that Mount Shasta City and the areas around it are going to stand alone compared to some of the other rainfall and snowfall totals that we'll see. Snow levels are going to bounce anywhere between 2,000 to 4,000 feet over the next 48 hours. So in those elevations below 2,000 feet, it'll likely just be rain. In elevations above 4,000 feet, it'll likely just be snow. In those elevations between, it'll go back and forth, just depending on the elevation and the time of day. So speaking of the day for today, we'll have rain, we'll have snow, we'll have winds. It is a high impact weather day. Try to avoid travel if you can, especially on our mountain passes, especially for south central Siskiyou County. Then overnight will actually clear out a bit for the east side. Winds will start to calm down, but more snow showers continuing along and west of the Cascades. Continuing to dry out in a Wednesday. We will be dry for the most part for Thursday and Friday, but then that next pretty impactful storm system over the weekend, we will get to that one when we get to it. Here's that 7-day forecast for the coast. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, very wet. It just seems like this pattern is never going to end, and that spring is never going to get here. For Siskiyou County, obviously seeing some pretty big impacts in terms of travel from the snow in south central Siskiyou County. You'll hear me refer to that area a lot throughout the rest of Newswatch 12 this morning. And then for the east side, maybe a few inches on Oregon 140. Very blustery today, though. We still have that wind advisory in place for Klamath and Lake counties. And then the Cascades and Siskiyous will also be a very rough go of it today because of the snow, because of the winds. And then for the Rogue Valley, will be wet and windy for today. Much drier for Wednesday through Friday, but more wet weather over the weekend.